Hi, my name is Adam Whitmer. I'm the founder and host here at ComplianceCohort.com. This compliance clip is going to talk about whether a lender credit can change. Now, specifically, the question we recently received was, can lender credits be changed? So that's a question we're going to discuss. Now, when TRID 1.0 first came out, the original version of the Truth in Lending RESPA Integrated Disclosures Rule under Reg Z, when that first came out, there was a lot of confusion and not too much understanding on what we could do with lender credits. So the general understanding was that you could not change a lender credit. It was set in stone. Well, when TRID 2.0 came out, that kind of clarified things for us, and more recently, the CFPB has given us a little more guidance. Specifically, our answer today is going to come from the new CFPB TRID Frequently Asked Questions, and specifically, Frequently Asked Question number 10 under the Lender Credits section that the CFPB just released. So, when we're going to talk about lender credits changing, let's talk about whether they can be increased and then whether they can be decreased. So our first question is, can lender credits increase? Now, what the frequently asked question says is this. It says, Regulation Z does not limit a creditor's ability to increase the amount of lender credits disclosed on the loan estimate. So in other words, if you want to give more money to the customer, you can do that because it is beneficial to the customer. No problems there. So you can always increase a lender credit. There's no issues with that. Now, they go on to talk about the concerns of lender credits and why it's a concern. So let's look at this a little bit before we get to the question of whether or not lender credits can decrease. What the frequently asked question says is the actual total amount of lender credits, whether it's a specific or general lender credit, provided by the creditor that is less than the estimated lender credits disclosed on the loan estimate, is an increased charge to the consumer for purposes of determining good faith under the TRID rule. So the key here is it's an increased charge. That's how they look at it. It's an increased charge when you change the lender credits. And they say essentially lender credits are a negative charge to the consumer subject to the good faith requirements of the TRID rule and must be considered when determining whether disclosures were made in good faith and within applicable tolerance standards. So really what they're saying is when you take away a lender credit, that's increasing fees to the customer, and that's a charge. So the lender credit's a negative charge. When you take the negative charge away, we have a double positive that results in harm to the customer. That's essentially what they're saying here. Now they give an example. They say, for example, if the creditor discloses a $750 estimate for lender credits on the loan estimate, but only $500 of lender credits is actually provided to the consumer, the actual amount of lender credits provided is less than the estimated lender credits disclosed on the loan estimate and is therefore an increased charge to the consumer for purposes of determining good faith under 1026-19E3-1. So our concern is good faith, and what they mean there is the tolerances. So to determine good faith, if we reduce our lender credit, we're going to be out of tolerance because this is a negative effect to the consumer, and essentially we would have a reimbursement that we would need to give to correct this. That's where they're going with this. So our question then is, can lender credits decrease? That's really the real question. Of course it can increase, that's a benefit to the customer, but can they decrease? Because that's a negative effect to the customer. Now, what they say here in this frequently asked question is, however, a decrease in the amount of the lender credits disclosed on the loan estimate can lead to a violation of the good faith disclosure standards under 12 CFR 1026-19E3, which is a citation of Reg Z, which is a tolerance violation. Now, they say that lender credits may decrease only if there is an accompanying change, circumstance, or other triggering event under 1026-19E3. Oh, shoot. Is that 4? And my Roman numerals are bad. Oh, my goodness. I should know this. But of course, that's 4, I believe. And the creditor provides the consumer with a revised estimate within 3 business days of receiving information sufficient to establish that the change, circumstance, or other triggering event has occurred. So the bottom line here is they're saying typically you cannot just decrease a lender credit for an arbitrary purpose. However, if you have a changed circumstance or other triggering event that applies, just like a regular change circumstance, then it could decrease. And that's what they actually clarified in TRID 2.0. So it could potentially decrease, but what I'll say to you is your auditors and examiners aren't really used to this yet. So you need to document your change circumstance and make sure it's a legitimate change circumstance, not the fact that, oh, we don't need as much funds to close. That's probably not a legitimate change circumstance. But if something else happened that is a legitimate change circumstance under the definitions, under Reg Z, then you would be okay to potentially decrease that. That's where they're going. Now, this is a complex topic. I took a little bit of extra time talking about this because this is a topic that just came out, these new TRID frequently asked questions, and this is something we're going to discuss in our spring 2020 quarterly compliance update. These are the types of topics where we take a deep dive into the rules, into the changes. We cover all the changes that took place from the prior quarter in our quarterly compliance update program. So this will be covered in detail along with the 9 other frequently asked questions in our spring 2020 quarterly compliance update. You can find that in our store at www.compliancecohort.com/store. So if you want more deep dives just like this on all the rules that recently took place, because this change here took place in the first quarter of 2020, take a look at our store and take a look at our quarterly compliance update program, and this will be covered along with the 9 other questions in our spring 2020 quarterly compliance update. So we conclude here by the final piece of this frequently asked question is they say if a change circumstance or other triggering event causes a lender credit to decrease, the creditor is not subject to a tolerance violation, assuming the other requirements for resetting tolerances are met. So in other words, if you have a legitimate change circumstance, you can absolutely decrease that lender credit as long as it's qualified. That's what they're saying, and that's what we can do with changing lender credits. That's all I have for you today in this compliance clip. If you are new to the compliance cohort, take a look at our website. We have a free membership. Our basic membership is absolutely free, where we have short training videos just like this one available to you. We do have premium memberships where you can get our quarterly compliance updates included in there, where we go into a lot more detail than what these short videos go into. We also have standalone programs as well. If you are an existing member, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.